Hello, I am Terry Griffin. I'm the Cropping Systems Economist at Kansas State University. I wanted to present some data that's available from USDA, National Ag Statistics Service, about Kansas farmland values and how they've changed over time. The data goes back to 1997 for farmland values, and as well as the changes in farmland values over time. Before we get into it, I did want to show my email address. In case you want to discuss this further, it's twgriffin@ksu.edu. If you're familiar with our AgManager website, I've added a link to this. It goes right to our interactive charts. And again, these charts will be updated the first week of August of every year. The data go back to 1997 when USDA NASS began reporting farmland values for each of the different types of farmland here in Kansas. So for instance, we have data for all cropland, irrigated cropland, non-irrigated cropland, all farmland, as well as pasture. If you look at the red line, the top line here, it's irrigated cropland. In 1987, the estimated value was $990 per acre. The other types of farmland were kind of clustered here together. So for instance, all cropland, $649 per acre. Farmland was $565. The purple line at the bottom was pasture land at $365 per acre. And we can see how these values have changed over time. And for the most part, these values have increased, but that's not always true. For instance, we know that in 2015, farmland values had considered a slight decrease in farmland values. But to really make that point clear, this bottom graph is essentially the same information, except it presents it as how much farmland values have changed over time as a percent, in particular from year to year. So in 1999, farmland values changed by almost 4%, and had larger increases in farmland value in 2005. So pasture land increased by 19%. Irrigated cropland increased by 9%. The thing I want to point out is if you see the zero in this horizontal line that corresponds to zero, as long as these percent change lines are above zero, that means that the values in that particular type of land have increased. But when it goes below this line, it means the values have decreased. So in 2009, several of the farmland types were still positive, but pasture land was a negative 2%. Farmland overall was almost a negative 1%. And it happened again this year in 2015. Most of the types of farmland were slightly negative, with the exception of pasture land, which was almost 7% increase in land value. So I'll welcome you to come back again next year and take a look at these in August, and I'll have these updated. And again, I am Terry Griffin. I'm the Cropping Systems Economist at Kansas State University.